shall step in fostering collaboration and open communication between the Philippine National Police and the media. Through shared understanding and mutual respect, we can work together to address critical issues facing our community and create a more secure and environment for all. We anticipate a productive and insightful experience filled with opportunities for learning, networking, and collaborative problem solving. Let's work together to make Aklan a safer and a prosperous place to live. So once again, welcome on this press conference of the PNP and Media Fellowship. Once again, good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Sir Mutumoser, for the warm welcome. At this juncture, let's now come to the introduction of PNP participants, requesting our Chief Public Information Officer, Police Captain Aubrey R. Allen.
Thank you, Jane. Once again, good afternoon, Sir and Ma'am, and of course to our media partners and to the gentlemen, police officers of Aklan Police Provincial Office. So my task for today is to introduce to you the PNP members present in front, and they are also the resource person for this press conference. Of course, first in the list is our Acting Provincial Director, no other than Police Colonel Arnel Enrico Ramos, sir. Next is our Deputy Provincial Director for Administration, Police Lieutenant Colonel Ricky Buntubo, sir. Next is our Deputy Provincial Director for Operations, Police Lieutenant Colonel Belshazzar Villanoche. Our Acting PCADU, Police Major Valen de los Santos. And also with us are the Chiefs of Police and Officer in Charge coming from different selected municipal police stations. So first is Police Captain Munyen de Joseph, the OIC of Canada NPS. Next is Police Captain Roel Belenia, the Acting COP of the Dakar. Next is Police Captain Conrado Espino Jr., the OIC of Numancia NPS. Next is Police Major Jose Mark Dizolga, the COP of Navas NPS. Of course, with us is the Chief Provincial WCPD and Assistant PIDMO, Police Captain Maricel Guevara. Also with us is the OIC of Ibay NPS, Police Major Rajiv Salvino. And with us also is the Acting Chief of Police of New Washington Municipal Police Station, Police Major Mark Villanueva. Also the OIC of Calibo NPS, Police Major Francis C. Andrade. And the COP of Malay NPS, Police Lieutenant Colonel Mar Joseph Ragulo. And another one, we have also the COP, the OIC of Banga NPS, Police Captain Dandig Gonzalo. And we are delighted also with the presence of our Provincial Legal Officer, Police Captain Leo Gacho, sir. That's all for the representative and the resource person of the PNP members of Aklan Police Provincial Office. Once again, good afternoon, ma'am, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's now come to the introduction of our media participants. We're waiting for the list, and we believe that our resource persons today are outnumbered versus the number of our media personalities, media partners of Aklan PPO. Your presence really, ma'am, sirs, are very much overwhelming. Thank you so much. For our media participants, Ma'am Ina Carol Sambrona, news writer of Get FM. Please stand to be recognized, ma'am. Sir Sandro Salazar, reporter of K5 News FM. And Ma'am Reginald Carnino of K5 News. Christian Villanueva of K5 News as well. Oh, stand corrected. From Brigada News. The station manager of Brigada News. Coming pa siya, si Sir Jomer Soriano. And Joben Medeldia. Okay. Sir Ernie Sambuang of RMNDYK. The station manager of RMNDYKR, Ma'am Davy Joy Jimenez. Of course, from Acano News, Sir Ruben Lacerna. Vicky Paderes of Radio Todo Aklan. Arvin Roque of Radio Todo. Si Sir Argan Relampago of Love Radio and Calibo Cable. Ma'am Era Joy Briones of Calibo Cable as well. Sir Randy Natuspa of Calibo Cable. And of course, we also have Sir Rodnel Aguirre of RMNDYKR. Ariel Colas of XFM Calibo. Sir Nino Regine Chudosio of XFM. Sir Malbert Daliga of Energy FM Calibo. Ronnie Villones of Bombo Radio Calibo. And Sir Vince Reyes from Bombo Radio as well. Sir Regison Roque of Bombo Radio. Yael Roldan, XFM Calibo. Kirby Revicencio, Todo Media. Ma'am Lynette Mendoza of GMA Calibo. Sir Jun Aguirre of GMA TV. So that's all for our media partners. And would like also to welcome the presence of the President of Agra Police and Defense Press Corps, Ma'am Astropel Tabalera, of Agra Cable Television and Paradise TV. Good afternoon, ma'am. Likewise, si Sir Darwin Tapayan of Barangay RU. Sir, good afternoon and welcome. And Ibang Joy Mendoza of Barangay RU as well. So once again, welcome to our press conference, and later on we're going to have our PNP Media Fellowship. Let's now proceed to the second part of this program, the opening statement of our Acting Provincial Director, Police Colonel Arnel Enrico Ramos. Sir.
Thank you, MC. To all our resource persons seated and supportive partners from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to everyone, especially to our very supportive media partners in Aklan. Your response to our invitation is truly overwhelming. Maraming salamat po sa pagpunta. We understand the concerns of our community, and I want to assure you that the Aklan Police Provincial Office is fully committed in maintaining peace and order, while we acknowledge the challenges posed by recent incidents in various municipalities. I want to emphasize that ensuring peace and order remains our top priority. At present, we are implementing various strategies, including the increased deployment of personnel in places of convergence such as resto bars, commercial establishments, to enforce Oplan Bakal Sita, enhance intelligence gathering, and strengthen collaboration with community stakeholders. We are also taking the lead in proposing a municipal ordinance for the installation of CCTV systems in commercial areas and reviewing the existing traffic ordinances of each municipality. I also take full responsibility for addressing misconduct by certain PNP personnel. I want to assure the public that we do not tolerate any acts of negligence or misbehavior. While upholding fairness, due process, and the rule of law, we are confident that through our unwavering dedication and the continued cooperation of the community and the media, we can ensure that Aklan remains a safe and peaceful province. We remain committed to transparency and will continue to keep the public informed of our progress. Thank you. Payag-ayag na hapon ninyo makasalamat.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's now proceed to our question and answer session. First, sa ating media na magpapangutana, please introduce yourself and from what station you are from. You were given a chance to ask one question and a follow-up. Be guided that you may address directly your question to the concerned station or to the resource person seated. Since we asked for a pre-arranged question, we will be following the sequence based on the order that your questions have been posted. So let's now proceed. First to ask will be Aklan News.
Thank you. Magandang hapon ng tangan. Yung unang katanungan ko po ay sa ating bagong OIC Provincial Director, kay Police Colonel Cruz. Sir, ano po yung priority po ninyo bilang isang OIC Provincial Director dito po sa lalawigan ng Aklan?
As the new acting Provincial Director of Aklan Police Provincial Office, some of my priorities are the intensification or the campaign against illegal drugs, illegal gambling, loose firearms, and other forms of criminalities. Foster strong collaboration with local government officials, partner agencies, and stakeholders through courtesy calls, meetings, and conferences. Strengthen police-community relations and community engagement. On proactive measures, enhance police presence in areas of convergence and enforce upland balansikan. Adopt modern technology through the full implementation of an online tracking system, enabling all duty personnel to share and log their respective locations while on duty. Take the lead in proposing a local ordinance for the mandatory installation of CCTV cameras or systems in all municipalities. At present, only one municipality has yet to enact an ordinance. Though it is already under public hearing, additionally revising existing local ordinances on traffic law and order. Maintain a standing order for all personnel to remain vigilant despite Aklan being declared under stable internal peace and security of the SIPs. On the personnel moral and welfare, conduct station visits to foster close and personal engagement with all personnel and initiate talk-to-men sessions. Adopt the concept of reward and punishment to motivate our personnel. That's all.
Thank you. Follow-up question po. Nalalapit na po ang midterm elections at sa February 11, mag-umpisa na yung national campaign. Ano po ang ating precautions, preparations para make sure po ang public na maging ligtas at likewise yung halalan po?
Midterm elections is fast approaching. So, what are those preparations and precautionary measures to ensure the safety and public and peaceful elections 2025? We will activate our PEMAC or the PEMAC, the Provincial and Municipal Election Monitoring Action Center, which sa lahat ng mga incidents dito, lahat ma-record po. So, we can monitor all the incidents within the province. The conduct of community checkpoints, implementation of Oplan Katok to enforce the gun ban, implementation of Oplan Bakal Sita, covenant signing to promote peaceful elections, continuous coordination with COMELEC through meetings and conferences, and creation of tagapamayapa ng tension teams, of the Triple T, which I am the chairman, and the members is the provincial election supervisor, DepEd, and other religious sectors.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Next to give his question will be from GMA TV. Sir Jim, please.
Thank you, Ma'am Jane. By the way, sir, I'm Jun Aguirre, and aside from being a senior of GMA TV, I also write for Rappler at Manila Standard, which is owned by House Speaker Montes, and I also created the Boracay News Network. Now, for my first question, sir, is my question also goes to the Malay PNP, because I'm surprised to monitor in the news na may nahuling lalaki sa Boracay, which in coordination with the Central Bank, na may nahuli sila parang pinaglalaroan ng isang 10 pesos coins. May I know lang, kasi aside from Malay PNP, the Siquijor PNP is also similar case, and parang hindi po kasi namin na balitaan ito sa Aklan. So, the public has the right to know. We will know lang sir kung ano po nangyari.
Yes sir, good afternoon po. Actually, one of the person, I believe it is one of the lawyers of Central Bank, coordinated with the Malay Police Station together with the CIDG, as they already have this intelligence report with regard to the said incident. And after the coordination, we immediately, together with other agencies, we conducted entrapment which resulted to the arrest of the said person. And at present, we're still conducting intensified intelligence gathering if there is other incident pertaining or in relation to the incident what was filed before. But we already submitted to the higher quarters all the reports, pertinent documents, and it is already submitted in the higher quarters.
Okay, thank you sir. Sana sir, pag may magalit na lista rin, paalam din po sana sa amin. Pero ayun po, balap lang po kasi Boracay, for coming na po yung Valentine's, mimino lang po kung ano po yung mga preparations.
With regard to the preparation, actually, I was assigned at Boracay last year, January 3. So this incoming Valentine's Day will not be to me. So in every activity, as more than a year in Boracay, I already know what is the usual deployment. So in every activity, I would like also to inform the media that we already have all these kind of different deployments, particularly in different kind of activities, because we cannot easily deploy because there are different or various kind of activities. And each activities, rest assured that we already have preparation and which what we call is a tailor fit deployment for each activity. And with regard to the Valentine's Day, actually we are very fortunate in Boracay, in Malay, because the provincial headquarters are very supportive. They will usually augment additional forces, like from mobile force and additional personnel, which will also reinforce our needs, particularly in the security of the tourists. So last year, from Ati-Atihan to Valentine's, we recorded 0 incidents. So hopefully this year, hopefully this coming Valentine's will also secure the same as we did last year.
Thank you, sir. Next to us will be Bongo Radio Calibo. You may proceed, sir.
Magandang hapon sa ating lahat. I'm Boboro Di Millones o Bongo Radio Calibo. Unang katanungan, siguro kasi nung nakarang araw, mayroong ibinibang bangkay na pinaniniwala ang membro daw yan ng People's Army o CTG sa Libacao. So, ang tanong, palapit na yung election, sir. kamusta yung status ng insurgency dito sa probinsya ng Aklan? Kasi may mga previous na mga records na mga encounter sa area ng Libakaw.
Thank you for that question. I'm President Colonel Christopher Genosid, Deputy Secretary for Operation. Sir, for the status of insurgency in Aklan, Aklan is still considered insurgency free. The Central Front, KR Panay, nag-operate sa Panay, is declared by our partners, Third ID, na dismantled na. No? At last encounter dito sa Aklan is October 31, no? Na mayroon nga isang casualty doon na nagtapas. Na yung time na yun is a massive major operation. No? At actually doon galing sa tapas at pumunta lang dito sa Aklan part, sa Sitio Hilban, at yun nga na dahil may troops dito sa Aklan operating din. At the time is ako pa yung OIC ng First Aklan PNC na yun nga na encounter, dati yung part na doon is support at yung army talaga yung operating units. Yun lang yung encounter dito, but in the Panay, kung yan, may serious encounter, but tinaklan sa lang. At consider natin na itong mga panay is remnants na, kaya almost wala ng threat dito sa Aklan in terms of insurgency dahil dismantled na declared by our partners, the Philippine Army. Then ito naman sa yung February 4 nakita na founded cadaver na ako yung nakalibing yun na mayroon lang nag-inform sa Philippine Army na yun nga member na ito ng KR Panay na namatay o natural death. Siguro yung pwede rin itong maka-expound din si Opiman Libakaw with regards to this. On the terms of insurgency sa Aklan, we assure you na Aklan is still considered insurgency free.
To expound the answer, COP Libakaw, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sir, in addition sa insurgency natin here in province of Aklan, with regards to the recent encounter, specifically ng municipality of Libakaw, this is the result of focus in continuous police and military operation in the tri-boundaries of Aklan, Capiz, and Iloilo. So, it simply shows na ayaw ng mga tao sa kanila, kaya hindi sila dito nagkakaroon ng mass base, at saka dismantled na rin sila ito, at saka na declared by 3ID. Ito sila yung mga galing from different province na nagawi lang dito sa area ng Libakaw. So, sa founded body natin, sir, yung yung update sa founded body natin, sir, na ka-receive tayo ng information na coming from Philippine Army and the Navy during their combat operation. Information received from the FR, merong bangkay doon na nailipid. So upon coordination, sir, kanina, Libakaw MPS initiated a decent burial through the help of our local government unit and the municipality of Libakaw. So yesterday, the Aklan Provincial Forensic Unit conducted laboratory work in post-mortem examination yesterday. So that's all for the update of found cadaver in Libakaw. Thank you.
Sige. Thank you, sir. Follow up. Kamusta yung ngayon, sir? Siguro kay Colonel naman siya, PNP, CFP. Yung kaso sa isang pulis na na-involve sa shooting incident sa may Agulay, dyan sa may Kalibuno Mansha Beach, na kung saan may mga civilian na nasugatan sa paa at yung involved daw doon, according sa naman siya PNP, is isang miyembro ng PNP. Parang walang nag-file ng kaso, pero anong maging status ng PNP na yun na nakakomit ng ganung penalty, sir?
As of now, the shooting incident involved in the last January 27, 2025. It appears that the suspect was a police officer And then the supposed criminal liability, the victim filed an affidavit of non-interest to file a case. So hindi na natin matutuloy yung case. So we recommend to our provincial director to file an administrative case for that police officer. And then we also conducted the ballistic, we also requested for the scene of the crime operative in Soco mag-conduct ng ballistic examination and a comparison for his issued firearm. And that police officer is already enrolled in this camp for the final process of his administrative case filed against him. Yun lang, sir.
Okay, salamat.
Thank you, sir. Next to us will be from Brigada News FM Calibo.
Good afternoon, officers from Brigada News FM Calibo, Christian Villanueva. My question is for Police Captain Danny Gonzalo, sir. Sir, in the official statement from Banga Municipal Police Station from the recent incident involving the escape of a suspect in a rape case, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon po to everyone. The PUPC is one Stanley Mercado de Chavez, also known as Jerry Ramirez Ocampo, and later confirmed to be Brian Naho E. Salmoren, believed to be from Bansud Oriental, Mindoro. He escaped police custody at around noon time of February 4, 2025. All police units in the province of Aklan were alerted and directed to conduct dragnet operation. Banga MPS along with other units conducted manhunt, hot pursuit operations for the possible arrest of the said PUPC, tracking his possible routes of escape captured in the CCTV. Subsequently, he was arrested just before midnight of that same day in Baybay area of Barangay Tamansi Norte, Numancia, with the assistance of barangay authorities and fisher folks in the area. Subject PUPC is detained at Banga MPS for the crimes of violation of RA 10591, Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulation Act, in violation of the Omnibus Election Code. It can be recalled that said PUPC was arrested through an entrapment operation conducted by Tangalan MPS in Barangay Poblacion, Banga on February 1, 2025. Service of warrant of arrest was successfully served to said PUPC yesterday, February 6, at Aklan Rehabilitation Center in Nalooc, Calibo, Aklan for the crime of carnapping committed in Cabuyao City, Laguna. Meanwhile, upon further verification, BJMP Mimaropa Region issued a certification stating that above-mentioned PUPC, initially known as Stanley Mercado de Chavez, is actually Brian Naho Salmoren, a person deprived of liberty detained in Calapan City District Jail charged with rape and escape from his BJMP escorts while he was about to be loaded onto a BJMP transport vehicle at Capital Site, Barangay Kawimil in Calapan City, Oriental, Mindoro on July 4, 2020.
Thank you. Next question for Police Captain Ruel Perenya of Acting COP of Dibaco, sir. Natanong na kanina, sir, nasagot mo na rin yung tanong ni from Bombo. Yung ano ba lang, sir, clear ko lang. Yung sa na-recover na caliber, sir, 80 families na pumunta dyan, sir, sa ating station.
Yes, sir. As of now, sir, wala pong family na interested na mag-claim sa cadaver na ito ng barangay. That is why, sir, na the Dibaco MPS through the help of Dibaco local government unit initiated this inquiry, sir, in order sa na mabigyan man kahit paano ng libig na to. And then, ito ay nakabalaman din natin siya na, na member ng CTG. So, kanina sir na ilibig na po ito. Yun na. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next would be from Yes FM Boracay. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is for Sir Ravelo. Sir, mahigit isang buwan na po itong nangyari sa isa. Ano po yung naging update investigation po natin ng Malay PNP sa nangyaring shooting incident sa isang empleyado ng LG Malay?
Yes po, ma'am. At present, we are still conducting thorough investigation pertaining to the said incident. And as follows are the updates. What are the actions taken by the police station? Of course, we recovered all the CCTVs along the highway. We reviewed for any possible identification of the culprit. We conducted follow-up interview to all person who are involved or who are connected to the victim. We submitted ballistic examination to the forensic unit for possible, again, identification of the firearms, if ever it can be connected to the perpetrator. We also conducted or requested for the the facial composite examination. We also requested for the to the forensic unit. And at present, actually we already have a person of interest. However, we cannot actually divulge any kind of information as not to foul the ongoing investigation. So that will be all for the updates.
Okay, sir. You have mentioned, sir, last Monday sa flag racing na umako yung crime incident at sa buong bayan ng Malay. Ano po yung mga naging incident or major incident po last year? Sa record niyo po.
Yes po. Actually, from my assumption last January 3, 2024 up to present, we're able to reduce the crime incident of Malay MPS from 20 to 22%. Ipababa po talaga natin. And one of the major factor is the deployment. We reinvigorate the deployment of our personnel. We ensure the implementation of 90-10, which is 90% of our personnel must be outside the police station. Even though kami po mga taga-office who are working 8 to 5, I ensure that what I have experienced before, as I have been a long time station commander in Longapo City. In-exercise po talaga kasi na even though no office personnel ka, dapat may oras ka sa labas. Because police visibility, as present po, 1:500 kami. However, pag naging synchronized po, and you can cover the whole area, I believe na talagang mababago yung crime incident. Which at present po, kung pupunta po kayong Boracay, alam po nila mararamdaman nyo po na doon po sa Long Beach, makikita nyo po ang police dyan at saka yung mga e-try ko po. Talagang may systematic po yung oras nila. And one of the feedbacks po na na-receive natin, they can confidently po na iwanan, although I do not advise na iwanan yung mga gamit. But still, sabi nila yung mga, according to po sa mga feedbacks ng mga local doon, na hindi yung mga simpleng chinelas, mga simpleng mga hindi na nananakaw like before. Because we also indoctrinated and nag-conduct din po tayo ng konting tinuruan po natin ang ating mga personnel sa deployment na ang pinaka-importante po tayo how you identify the culprit. Identification, may kita niyo po kasi yan. Ano po bang itsura ng tourist? Ano po bang itsura ng local? Ano po bang itsura ng mga nagtatrabaho? So if from there, makikita mo kung sino yung pang plus-minus wrong. So doon po, usually hinihingan po namin ang identification. So from that, nalaki po ng binaba, 22%. So those are the strategies that we implemented during my term up to present.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next to ask would be XFM Kalibo.
Magandang hapon po, Katropang Nino from XFM Kalibo. I'd like to address my question po for Nabas PNP by Miss Major Suliga. Sir, magandang hapon po. Any update po dito sa kaso po ng minor na pinatay at ni-rape? No? Kasi nag-aabang po kami kung dyan po sa part po ninyo, nakapag-file na po ba tayo ng kaso kasi the last update na meron po kami is meron na po kayong person of interest, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you po, sir. For the update on the rape with homicide po namin involving a minor, so for filing na po yung case, no? So as a big background po, we have submitted all the pertinent documents on noong January 31 to the Office of the Prosecutor for the preliminary evaluation checking of documents na kung ano yung mga lacking by Prosecutor Gomez. And we have also requested, so we have compiled the documents na mga lacking namin, and nag-request na po kami kay Ma'am Maya, Provincial Prosecutor, for the case build-up ng case natin. So, kahapon lang po, nag-reply na po si Ma'am Maya. It was Prosecutor Kawaling who was assigned to us for that case. Now we have coordinated with Prosecutor Kawaling and he advises us to file. So, ngayon sana namin ipafile, no? We have coordinated with all the witnesses. But the problem is, mga estudyante kasi yung ibang witnesses namin, we have a total of 13 witnesses executing affidavits. But may mga exam, hindi available yung iba. So, hindi natuloy yung filing namin ngayong araw. But we have, and sa part naman po ng families, because tomorrow yung libing po ng yung victim natin. So, but we have set a date po, nag-agree naman po lahat ng witnesses natin to be file on Monday po ng lunchtime or afternoon. As long as makompleto natin yung lahat ng witnesses natin. That's all po for the update sa Liberty Council.
Isang follow-up po. Andun po sa person of interest, nadagdagan po pa?
Yes sir, initially sir, yun nga, meron tayo 3 person of interest, but nag-reduce na tayo sa isa. Yun na yun siya sa, I think, other media ata, na-interview niya yata yun during the invitation namin. So, yun na yung pa natin sa risk because all, based on the witnesses, yung 13 na witnesses natin, 10 witnesses natin is, siya yung huling nakita ng kasama yung victim natin before nawala, and yung sa 3 naman is yun naman yung sa kuha natin sa alibay niya regarding kung saan siya na wala na siya dun sa area. So yun po sir yung natin. Same lang po yung person of interest natin, but isa na lang po yung person of interest natin.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, Sir Nino. Let's proceed to the question of Radio Toto.
Magandang hapon po, for message po ng Radio Toto. My question po is to the new Provincial Director of Aklan PTO, sir. Kasama po ba sa mga tututukan ninyo ang mga unsolved cases ng mga motor riding suspects, sir? At kung na-review nyo na po yung mga previous cases po dito sa buong Aklan, sir, ano na po yung mga ginawa po ninyong action?
Sir, isa yan sa mga top priorities ko. Ang aking ko po na mabigyan ng justisya ang mga biktima. So, masampahan ng mga kaukulang kaso at pahuli ang mga salari sa gawa ng kaso.
Salamat po, sir. At kung sino po yung makakasagot po nito, ano po yung gagawin ng ating mga kapulisan at ano na po yung aksyon sa pagtutok natin sa mga gulo na tinasangkutan po ng mga Muslim minors po?
Yes sir, good afternoon sir. Thank you for the question. Hindi po natin na ipagkakaila na sa ngayon po is medyo dumadami yung involvement ng mga minors. So tayo po ay, meron po kasi tayong mga core view. So kung narinig kanina, nabanggit natin kanina, isa sa mga focus ni sir, na ating Provincial Director is yung mga ordinances. So isa din po yun sir, na re-review natin, i-intensify yung implementation ng core view. Kasi ito po yung malaking tulong kasi ito para ma-contain natin yung paglabas-labas ng mga minors natin. And of course, with the help of the MSWDO natin. Kasi considering ng mga minor to sila, yung talagang agency na responsible at kaakibat namin sa pag-aruga at sa pag-maintain ng best interest ng mga kabataan ay yung DSWD natin. And of course, we are also empowering the public through massive information dissemination para din maturuan yung publiko and at the same time yung ating mga magulang sa tamang pag-aruga at pag-alaga sa mga kabataan para yung mga minors natin is maiwasan na sila yung ma-involve at ma-victimize ng mga krimen sa probinsya natin.
Salamat po.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's now proceed to the question of Energy FM Galibo.
Good afternoon po, mga ma'ams and sirs. Good afternoon po sa bago nating Acting Provincial Director. Although kanina narinig ko naman yung tungkol sa seryosong pagtutok sa illegal drugs and illegal gambling. Recently, we understand medyo seryoso yung mga nangyari sa lalawigan ng Aklan. With all due respect sa investigation and proper disposition, magtatanong lang po sa nangyari pong ito. May marirelieve ba tayong police officers because of what happened? May marirelieve ba kung kinakailangan? Managot.
Sa mga incidents po natin, actually, nag-convene kahapon ng ating placement board pertaining dun sa reassignment of personnel. Dun sa mga incidents na may nangyari, we are requesting to the higher headquarters dun sa other officers na walang action taken dun sa mga incidents na nangyari. So upon the approval ng ating higher headquarters with the covenant is may mga marirelate or hindi man is mabibigyan ng sanctions.
Okay.
So administrative sanctions.
Thank you, sir. And speaking of illegal gambling, ano pong magiging disposition natin if ever sa mga, kung nakarating na po sa inyo, yung mga bali-balita rin, yung mga mangilan-gilan daw tayo, mga police officers dito sa Aklan, na ina-allege na may involvement din sa illegal gambling dito sa Aklan, sir?
Napakalinaw naman po ang mandato sa ating mga kapulisan. Sa mga unang araw pa lang, pagkaupo ko bilang acting provincial director, na ay tingin ng kampanya natin pertaining sa illegal drugs at saka illegal na sugal. So, hindi ko po pwedeng anuhin ang mga COP kung may mga involved sila sa kanila na nagkukukup o nagpoprotekta sa mga illegal gambling. So, mas maganda po sana, with the help of our friends from the media, at hindi naman natin napapantayan, meron po tayo dyan na sinusunod na one strike policy pag may na-involved at pwede silang marilid kung hindi nila na-actionan. So, ipagpabigay alam niyo po kaagad sa akin kung meron po tayo mga kasamahan na na-involved dyan para lalo natin yung action.
Thank you po. Pwede akong maghabol na lang, ma'am, ng question sa COP ng Malay. Sir, magandang hapon, ano? Verification lang po. May nangyari daw po na drowning incident. Hindi ko lang actually ma-recall din kung ano. Yung pasahero daw ng isang cruise ship. Bi-verify ko lang, sir, kung totoo ba na hindi daw po or ayaw daw pong ipabalita itong incident last time.
Actually, I believe, sir, that maybe 2 months ago. And wala po akong na-receive any information na ayaw ipabalita.
Okay.
Because actually in Boracay, we really exercise the function and jurisdiction of these agencies. So we cannot actually, like for us as the police officers, we cannot jump over the jurisdiction of the Coast Guard, jump over the jurisdiction of the local government unit. So what at least that we can do as we all know, Boracay is napakano niyan, sir, famous all over the world. So we need to be strict on the jurisdiction of each agency. So I cannot speak particularly on the information coming from other agencies, but as for the police officers, we submitted, the least that we can do, sir, is to submit reports. And inform the higher headquarters that there is such incident transpired in my AOR, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Sir Joe Marzariana, the station manager of Brigada News. Good afternoon, sir. Let's now proceed to the question of GMA Calibo.
Good afternoon. Akong pangutana ay artist sa status si Ganban, kung nagkatayo na Ganban. So may mga natakpan yun ba kita? May mga pension yun? Kung ano status mo ka? Follow up ay next question is kung ano ro status in election niya sa aton nga probinsya, like may mga identify niyo kita ng mga hotspot niya sa aton nga probinsya like that. Thank you.
sir. Once again, thank you for the question. Sa update po ng GANBAN natin na accomplishment, since na-activate na po or activated na po yung PMAC natin, yung monitoring action center natin po, meron na po tayong naitala na anim na accomplishment sa GANBAN. So ang dalawa po dito is confiscated siya. Yung isa po sa dalawa na to is, ito po yung ito po is from yung responde ng Malay MPS, kung naalala niyo po yun, yung suspect na may baril. At yung isa po, yung sabanga natin na entrapment. Yun po, and the rest po, ito po yung mga deposited na expired po na license po, na registration nila. And then, doon naman po sa tanong na kung ano yung status ng Aklan, probinsya ng Aklan sa election, tayo po ay, nasa green po yung categorize ng Aklan province. Meaning po, generally peaceful po ang probinsya ng Aklan pagdating sa election natin. Pero hindi po tayo nagkukumpiyansa. Kasi meron tong tinatawag tayo na inherent na threat na political rivalry. Yung mga natural lang na rivalry ng mga ng mga candidates, pero hindi po ito yung masasabi natin na violent na rivalry, kundi it's a fair competition between the candidates. So, uulitin po natin, peaceful po ang Aklan, pero hindi po tayo nagpapaubaya kasi continuous po yung monitoring natin sa mga possible threats. At nandito po ang pamunuan ng Aklan Police Provincial Office para siguraduhin safe and secure yung election na mangyayari itong 2025 May.
We give another question, Jemmy Galibo. Okay po kayo. Let's now proceed to the question of RMN DYKR.
Good morning po, sir. I'm Rod Nalagiri of RMN DYKR. Kalibo po. Pertaining naman po sa guarantee lang po sa ating publiko regarding po sa mga pasaway na pulis, ano po yung guarantee niyo bilang provincial director na patas po yung magiging pagtrato ninyo?
Ang pamunuan ng PNP ay agad nagsasagawa ng investigasyon sa lahat ng mga reported cases, incidents involving PNP personnel violating PNP mandate. Automatic itong sinasagawa as reflected at the TOP Manual 2021, Laborcom Circular 2016-002. Sa katunayan, sa tuong 2024, 15 na iring PNP personnel ng Aklan PPO ang nasampahan ng kasong administratibo. Sa 2025, I think may 3 na rin kami na na-file ng administrative cases.
Follow-up question po, PD, regarding naman po sa mental health naman po ng ating mga tauhan. Bilang po ama ng provincial command natin, ano po yung mga programs niyo para po sa mental health nating PNP personnel, sir?
Sa katunayan, meron tayong existing na programa na siyang binibigyan ng pansin ng mental health ng ating kapulisan na tawag ng Mental Health Care Continuous Awareness Response Evaluation na kinasa ng Regional Medical Unit and Dental Unit 6 or RMDU 6. Dagdag pa rito ay mayroon tayong spiritual enhancement program na siyang gumagabay sa moral at spiritual na aspekto ng pag-iisip.
Last question, PD. Hababol po pala, balikan natin po yung gambling. Kasi po, yung public natin may mga commission naman po yung ating PNP personnel dito, especially sa mga police stations po, kung saan yung mga bugis po yung nahuli, kumbaga sa mata ng ating publiko, medyo maliit. Ano po yung status dito sa lalawigan natin? May mga malakihan po ba ng mga gambling operators na illegal dito sa ating probinsya, sir?
Actually, meron tayong monitor na ganyan. Actually, binabalidate ng ating internal personnel ngayon. So, on process yung validation, pag meron tayong makuha sa lahat ng individuals na sa same.
Thank you, sir. There are some resource person na hindi natanong. Was not included in our pre-arranged question, but there are some na gusto pang magtanong. Can we have that, sir?
Sir, i-dagdag lang with regards sa para yung namakan natin sa yung katanungan with regards sa meron tayong tinatawag na internal cleansing policy. So, involving, that's why meron tayong tinatawag na preventive approach, free-from approach. Yung strategy natin to address problems. So, meron tayong tinatawag na preventive approach. Ito yung mga seminar, schooling. Then, followed by palliative approach, yung nagkakaroon ng involving personnel, like kung ano yung incidente na I've been faced, yun yung palliative. Kung mapatunayan, so magkaroon sila ng And then, yung restorative, ito yung mga kagaya ng mga with regards sa kagsabi lang ni PD pertaining sa spiritual enhancement, kung ano yung seminar, which is productive para maging ma-instill sa ating mga personnel yung professionalism and integrity on this in this DBN job. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Because like that, we can still have up to 2 questions from Kalibo Cable TV.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Sarah Chibrianes from the Cable News Team. Yung question ko po is for Police Colonel Arnel Ramos. Sir, paano niyo po planong isulong ang transparency and accountability sa pamumuno niyo po para mas mapalakas pa yung tiwala ng publiko sa ating mga kapulisan?
Yes, thank you. So, on my part as the Provincial Director, para maisulong ang pagtitiwala nila sa police sa transparency nga. As I mentioned before, wala akong, as I go around with the police stations, like kung sinasabi sa aking mga kasama, first, and then the politicians na nandang I'm not from Aklan. I have nothing to prove. Ang gusto ko lang patunayan is wala akong kikilingan. Trabaho lang ang itinunta ko nito. Even one person sa Aklan, wala akong kakilala. Even marilib ako, sabi ko nga, as long as I'm doing my job, so be it. Wala akong kikilingan kahit sino sa kasama ko. So, I encourage all personnel na, especially now that election is fast approaching, huwag tayong makikialam sa mga politiko. Kung meron kayong gustong iboto, ibotin nyo kung dalawin kayo. Pero huwag kayong mangangampanya. Once na ma-prove at merong evidence, magpapayat talaga ng administrative charges. So, that's my instructions o directive sa lahat ng mga tao natin. Na, yun nga, I'm not from Aklan. So, lahat ng pwede kong gawin, kung merong evidence, I will file administrative charges sa mga kasama. Even criminal kung ginagawa.
Thank you, sir. We'll have the station manager of Brigada News, Sir Joe Mercer.
Mayroong hapon sa tanan, and I'm happy that na-invite pa na ako din. Police Colonel Arnel Ramos, sir. Good afternoon. Hindi man ko taga-Aklan. Obviously, lunggo. But the question is, hands this way, wala personalan niya. Totalari rin makita. Based on my experience in Rojas City at Iloilo, for how many years I've served this dito. Once nga isang kaso, may duty ng investigator, and that investigator mag-outgoing, nagkakit-anay inasakayan ay meeting na sila within kami. So that the case continues, even though isang investigator duty on that case, out, off. Now here in Aklan, wala. How come? Na wala sa continuation. Naintindihan mo ako, sir? Ganito na lang, sir. nung sa Rojas City ako, I came from that place, and Iloilo, pag sa isang kaso o sa isang incident, isang case, may duty investigator. Itong duty investigator, following day, outgoing na siya. At may papasok na incoming investigator sa police station. So nag-meet sila doon sa I&I section. Para pag lumabas itong outgoing investigator, itong incoming, alam niya kung ano nangyari na inahawakan ito isang investigator. Para pag tinawagan namin si police, mayroon silang itoro investigator to continue sa information na itatapon namin sa area. Pero dito sa Aklan, as para sa officer, pag wala sa investigator, tulog ang kaso. Ano bang nangyari? Walang continuation in terms of investigation.
Sir, as experience at Chief of Police, ganito kasi yan ang nangyayari, sir. Pag pumasok, for example, 7 p.m., yung pasok ng crime, kasi yung duty na natin ng police na is hanggang 8 a.m., kaya papasok yung incoming ng 8 a.m. Ito naman si duty investigator sa 7 p.m. Once may pumasok na kaso, sa kanya niya, pwede niya ipasa yung kaso sa incoming. Dahil siya na nag-take over, siya na yung diretso ng kaso, siya yung mag-imbestiga. Kaya pagdating mo sa station, alas 9, yung incoming na yung naabutan mo, sir, tanongin mo, parang alam yun, sir, dahil hindi yan na-turnover, dahil continuous yung investigation niya, hindi mo na makahagilap halos din ang investigator, dahil continuous yung investigation niya. Ay, hindi yan siya mag-walk, sir, hindi yan dahil continuous niya hanggang mag-gather niya lahat ng information at mga witnesses at ready to be filed in court in case na mahuli yung suspect. Kaya, ganyan rin nangyayari, sir. Kaya, pagdating mo lang 8 a.m., 9 a.m. sa police station, wala doon ang investigator. Then, yun nga, yung kaso is 6 or 5 a.m. nangyari, tuloy-tuloy yung investigation ng investigator natin. Kaya hindi mo mapagutan yan sa police station. Kaya pag kinanong mo yung incoming investigator, wala yan. Basta, hindi niya masagot ng kumpleto. Then, yung investigator natin on duty na on the ground na yun, sir. Wala sa yan. Matapusin niya yan hanggang, sir?
So, different pala yung process. Okay, I understand. Yung minsan na natatanong ko lang kasi, pag tinanong ko kung duty investigator, sabihin na sir, off na. So, wala na.
Wala yun, sir. Actually, continuous yung investigation na, sir.
Then, when we ask number, hindi na mag-handle, we go off na.
Tama na, dito kay manager. Anyway, may mga COP tayo na invited, naging COP din tayo. Depende sir, kuminsan kasi, depende sa case. Anyway, nagkataon lang na, especially yung traffic, talaga kung saan na yung lalabas yung incident din, nandiyan yung investigator. But may time siguro, tama yung video, may time siguro sir na nagkataon na gusto nyo yung update.
Yes, sir.
But yung investigator on case, nagkataon na nasa field. So, yung incoming, na especially yung time ba na yung between 7:30 to 8, gusto nyo yung report. So, may time talaga ko natin yung investigator kung process yung follow-up. Anyway, may yan sir, kasama yan yung, sabi mo, kasama yan yung intelligence. Saka mayroong team yung NPS natin sa investigation team na sila yung dedicated na team para mag-investigar. So, yun yung at least ay alam niyo naman COP natin kung ano yung, siyempre, alam namin natin yung mga sa media, matagal din tayong investigator before tayo nag-officer. So, alam ko yung mga ina-aim.
Yes, sir.
May karatagan siya si COP man.
And thank you for that, sir.
Yes, sir. To clarify, sir, lalo po yung question, sir. Case-to-case po, basis po talaga, sir. Like for example, sir, nangyari po siya ng gabi. Usually, the investigator case will really exert effort para po ma-solve yan. And once na-solve niya na po, nag-gather niya all the pieces of evidence, hindi niya na po yung turn over kasi profiling na. Like for example, hindi niya na po yung ibibigay sa kabilang investigator dahil nakuha niya lahat ng kailangan. So usually po, it's either na settle na or nag-execute ng affidavit of undertaking or profiling. Once na profiling, hindi niya na po actually inform yung kapalitan niya dahil pupunta na rin po talaga siya sa prosecutor's office.
Actually, sa media, sir, hindi naman kami nagsasabi na we're not understand actually. Sabihan lang kami. Simple as that. Sir, hindi pwede na dahil for filing ng kaso. Well, okay na sa amin. Pero yung masama lang dyan minsan, media kasi, alam yun sir, kung tugon ni sir, I salute you, no? Anytime, mayroon tayong updates eh. So minsan sabihan, pagtawag sa police station, wala na sir, off na yung investigator. Mostly, sir, anong number? Sorry sir, hindi na sila may storbo. So we have to continue sa investigation, sinupdate from police. Remember, we are partners. Media and police are the same working community. Yung amin dito is also to update and to give also credit kung sino naman yung police. Yun ang masama kasi hindi namin makredit kung sino dapat namin i-credit sa area. So the reason why na on our part, para man lang sana may update yung tao at makredit namin kung sino yung duty, we cannot read it actually. May kuha na eh, medyo may kuha na siya. Pag sinabi tulog na, off na, wala na.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, hello. Tagal na tayong hindi nakita, sir. I'm very happy to see you now, sir. Actually, sir, I really have the sympathy for our media partners when it comes to information, giving information to our media, sir, as the PIO. So ngayon, sir, isa kasi sa challenge ngayon, sir, sa PNP, and I would like also to take this opportunity to tell everybody. Isa kasi, sir, sa merong transition kami ngayon, sir, when it comes to information, giving information to our media partners. Kasi sir, meron tayong nilabas kasi sir na media policy, media relation policy siya sir na, modified kumbaga sir. Na kung saan sir, lahat, ngayon kasi sir, ito, yung struggle nasa process kasi kami ngayon sir, to empower also our stations. Kasi sir, sa media policy natin na to sir, every stations, meron ng designated PIO sir, and spokesperson. And then, itong si PIO and spokesperson are the one responsible in addressing all the information. Yes, sir. So, kaya may kaso lang, sir, hindi namin ma-deny na meron talaga pa rin na personnel na hindi pa fully aware of this, and this is our struggle. So, this is our struggle. But for now, sir, with this avenue, we are giving assurance na i-double up namin yung effort, especially on the part of the PIO, to empower the stations, especially the PIOs and the spokesperson. That is why, sir, may mga stations, sir, na tumatanong sa akin directly, nire-refer ko sila, sir, sa mga PIOs natin sa station. So may mga stations na, sir, na meron na talagang experience and alam na nila, sir. That is why, ito, sir, is to also help the burden of the investigators kasi yun nga, sir, may outgoing, may follow-up investigation siya. So, the common na sasagot, sir, ng tao na makakasagot ng telepono is hindi niya alam, wala sa investigator. That is why one of the initiative na in-address na hindi lang Aklan Police Provincial Offices, sir, but the entire Philippine National Police is to establish the PIO and spokesperson, sir. So, sa Aklan, sir, yung PIO natin, sir, is sa mga MPS natin, sir, the PIO, usually yung dinesignate ng mga chiefs of police and OIC natin is yung deputy. Yung deputy natin sa mga officers din sila. And PIO and spokesperson also. So pag wala si OP, sir, you can call the deputy, sir, na designated as the PIO, sir. So yun yung address namin, sir, para ma-resolve ito, sir. Kasi kahit kami, sir, struggle dito sa amin. So, kumbaga sa mga project, parang baby pa siya. And hopefully, with your help, sir, and with your guidance and patience as well, matulungan din kami, sir, para unti-unti ma-fully implement namin ito, sir.
Maraming salamat. Last question na lang. Ano yung protocol na doon sa pagpangayo sa spot report sa mga reporters?
Yes, sir. Sa spot report kasi, sir, may mga incidents kasi, sir, na as much as we wanted to give information, we are not authorized to do so. So, kaya, sir, meron, sir, dati, sir, pwede kami magbigay, actually, kahit platter, sir, and the full copy of the spot report. Pero ngayon, bawal na rin, sir, sa amin. And even giving names, full names of the victims and the suspects, hindi na rin bawal na rin sa amin, sir. Siyempre sila, lalo sa suspect, sir. Suspect, hindi pa sila convicted sa rape.
Yes.
So they are still innocent.
Yes.
So they are also, ano ba sa rape? Deserve pa rin nila yung confidentiality and utmost respect. So yun, sir. Basta, sir, pagdating may mga cases, ipagpaumanhin niyo po, sir, kasi may mga times talaga na may mga cases, how much as we wanted to give you information, especially pag mga alarming siya, sir, na alam namin alarming. Pero may mga sinusunod din kami pa, sir, ng protocol. Kasi madami ng beses kasi, sir, na nangyayari na hindi nalilimit yung paglabas ng information and nakukompromise yung investigation.
Yes.
So yun yung nakikita ng PNP. Kaya ito, sir, is na-regulate yung mga dapat ilabas ng mga, sir, na mga information, especially sa mga sensitive cases, sir.
So, hopefully pa yan sa mga boxers na sa mga taga-media.
Oo, sir, nakita na mo na, sir. Sino na yun? Wala pag ginahatag ang pangalan, di ba, sir?
On, kilala, pag-uon.
Oo, sir.
Mulunti mo galing, pag-uang nangalan.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Jomer. Last na lang, sir, from the station manager of RMNBYKR to represent Sir Ernest Ambong. Sir.
Hindi na paghaba.
Tag-urod talaga. Actually, gusto ko pa sa upload na namin mga chief of police o different police stations sa Aklan. But anyway, this is Police Colonel Sir Ernest Ambong from RMN Talibo. Ang sabi ni SM Jomer is about the incoming and outgoing of the investigator. Makaroon man, kapon is the incoming, outgoing of chief of police. May mga previous case actually, like Quista shooting incident. The chief of police of Calibo is Police Colonel Philippine Buconsel. Yung family kasi ng nanay, palaging dictates, ano pa yung ring test? So after the incident, tumakbo na yung halos every time na dumating yung 12 of buwan, kasi March 12 nangyari yung incident wala pang update. Pumasok yung chief of police na Calibo IC Police Major Christian Trade. Ayaw ko ano pinakalitasat. Kasi ang daming katanungan sa amin sa media, walang sagot minsan. Andito kami ngayon, parties ng PNP at media. Ang buti kami kaibigan tayo lalong dito po. Sir Buntugon, sir, ano pa niya kalites at bago kay Major Prince Andrade?
Thank you, Sir Ernie, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Actually, bago ako na-relate sa, relate sa Calibo, nakusap ko si, yung mother ni Julius. Nakusap ko pa. Pertaining sa investigation ba? Kung ano yung pagkatao niya kasi, may mga previous kasi na may mga makadasan na inaugurate ng PDU sa kampanya against illegal drugs. So, after that, so wala na ako kasi almost 4 months. So, pwede natin i-address kay COP Calibo kung any update pertaining kay shooting incident involving kay Julius Quista.
Sa New Washington, taga-tambak.
Barangay Kano.
Taga-tambak ni Washington, ang incident transferred at Barangay Kano.
Yes sir, no, that time natapuron sa nangyari yan dun sa Barangay Kano, I was team leader pa rin ng PDU. So, but then, the intelligence officer ng Calibo Police Station is nag-cooperate sa akin, nagpapatulong dahil nga sa nangyari. And then we come up sa mga information na gather namin na may grupo kaming na-identify. Yung una naming hinuli niyan, kasi yung grupo kasi na yun is involved in illegal drugs. And then, pwedeng itan din also. So, inoperate namin yung isa
doon sa Baliti Municipality Station. Sa Baliti Municipality. Nahuli natin yun, yung isang member. And then, sinundan yan before narinig ako sa SPIU at PDO na dito ako sa Kalibo. Kasundan yan ng search warrant doon sa Numancia. Bakit siya ang sinasabing mga na-involved sa mga shooting incident dito sa Aklan? It's because kasi doon sa Puok, yung mga kanila, yung mga katawan nila, tapos the way they drive ng mga motorcycle, and then yung may nangyari sa Bama, which is yung Redington din yun, after nung sa Puok. Doon natin na-identify siya na yung na-apply natin ng SW sa Numancia, kasi nga po, yung sa Bama na Redington din rin, is na-identify siya, and then umatras yung natin, yung complainant, yung asawa. So, kinasa natin po sir yung SW dun sa Numancia. And then, meron pang isang incident dati sa Numancia rin, ang nangyari na Redington din, babae yung biktima. Isa siya sa mga involved doon, siya yung driver, yung sa Numancia. Kaya, kung sa PDO kasi ako sir, even though hindi ko sana linya yung sa mga Redington din na yan, nag-worry rin kami sa PDO dahil nga may mga threat din kasi kami doon. Dahil nga sa mga pinanguhuli namin. So sabi namin, mas better na tulungan natin itong mahuli yung mga nag-Redington din. Kasi titingnan ko sa ngayon pattern, halos every 3 months, talagang may nangyayaring patayan. So nung nangyari nung sa Baliti, biniglang ko yun eh. Sabi ko, magti 3 months na. Dapat ikasan natin yung SW sa taga Numancia. So, kinasa namin yun, sir. At kung titingnan natin ngayon, lampas na ng 5 months or 6 months na wala po tayong Redington.
Anyway, thank you so much, sir. Finally, sir, kasi dito, i-amin dito ng mga chief of police natin ng Aklan. Mayroon bang gun for hire dito po sa Aklan? Colonel Ramos, sir.
Thank you for the questions. Actually, may mga nare-receive tayo na mga informations now na ganyan. So, we already directed our intelligence officer na i-validate yung allegations na yan. Kasi, lalo ngayon at election is fast approaching, baka magamit sila. So, I cannot divulge any information possible na, pero we are validating po.
Sir, thank you. Behalf sa Aklan Media, thank you so much sa oportunidad nga gintaw ka mo niya sa Aklan. Welcome, sir, sa Aklan.
Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the media impression, we'd like to welcome once again Ms. Astropel Cabanera, the President of our Aklan Police and Defense Press Corps.
Good afternoon, everyone. In blood, I'm Aklanan po, pero hindi ako kasi dito pinanganak. And 12 years na po akong nag-work sa Boracay and 3 years na